Good morning, everybody. Shift your mindset here. Today's episode will be the JWs are worshiping a new Jehovah. Why is that? I'm inspired by an ex-JW channel, the Blue Envelope. It's right in my alley. I like that guy so much, the way he does his research, the way he presents it. It's one of my favorite ex-JW channels, the Blue Envelope. Credits where credits are due, so check his channel out. Subscribe if you want to, but it's right up in my alley, like I said, because the way he presents himself, he does his research, presenting the facts, how we edit his videos, it's brilliant for me, and it's one of the best videos and channels I'm watching. It's not about themselves, it's not about the way they speak about Watchtower. A lot of ex-JW channels I don't like, but this one I like, so check it out. You won't be disappointed if you're also watching my channel. And he put me on a track with his latest video that I thought and was thinking about Jehovah Jesus. The way I grew up, the way I viewed the religion was about Jehovah, was about Jesus. Jehovah, if you believe in Jehovah or God, if you follow the Bible, then you see that Jehovah was a God who was intervening in the past. He doesn't intervene anymore. So we have a new Jehovah. Jehovah was all about you being human, that you do good for you and the others around you. He saved people from slavery. He took his people out of Egypt. He was taking care of people. They were suppressed. They were badly treated by the Egypts. So he took care of them. He took care of widows. He took care of orphans. He had laws in place to protect certain people. That's the thing in the Bible I remembered. Jesus came. Jesus wasn't born in a golden castle. Jesus was born in a normal stable for animals. If it's the most important person on the world, he was born in a stable, a plain old stable with animals. He had parents who were not famous. His father was a carpenter. Jesus was becoming a carpenter to fill in for the family, to put money on the table. He contributed to the family. If it's the Son of God, he showed us to be just to be a person. No big money around him, not expensive clothes. He didn't wear Rolex on his wrist or big rings like the governing body. He was just a normal human. He blended in the crowd. He didn't stand out. And where do you stand out? For me, it's energy. It's whatever you're wearing, whatever you do, that people think, hey, because of what they are seeing and feeling, you feel, hey, he is a special guy. I get good vibes from him. His energy was telling the story for him. He had a normal youth. He wasn't being isolated from the rest of the people. And he had Jehovah's blessing. Then he went into the ministry. He was sleeping at places. In this time it would be a hostel, not even a one-star bedroom or one-star hotel. He didn't have money to throw away to spend. He provided for a whole crowd when they were listening to him. He thought, they are here for so long, I have to give them some food. So he breaks the bread and the fish and whatever, and he provided for the whole community. That, my friends, were people who weren't followers of Christ yet. Maybe they even didn't go on following him later on. But he was human. He had empathy. And he led the disciples by example. He was not sitting there and giving orders like a rich, spoiled brat. No, he was showing his disciples how it should be done. He was a true leader. Do you see the governing body in this time feeding also worldly people? Jesus loved the worldly people around him. Jesus didn't have an opinion in he's a good person, he's not a good person. She's a good person, she's not a good person. No, everyone was equal. That's what we learn about Jesus on earth. He had dinner with someone who is collecting taxes. They were not fond of those people in that day. He had a conversation with a prostitute. So he wasn't nitpicking who's good, who's not good, but he helped all the people, even people who were sick. So he had a vision that I want to help everybody. And he had really good intentions. And Jehovah was blessing him. Do you see the governing body feeding worldly people nowadays? With Jehovah, it was all about leading his people into faith. There wasn't a big organization needed, but Jesus and his disciples went preaching into the ministry and just telling people about the good news. It wasn't regulated like now. And now you have maybe more JWs, you would say to me, so we have to have kind of organization. Okay, let's go with that. You need an organization. But do you need such a hierarchy in your organization? With circuit overseers and elders and stuff like that, and a whole manual about what to do and what not to do, instead of just use your common sense in certain cases. And the problem now for me is that it was all about the religion. It was all about the faith in God and his Son. Nowadays, Jehovah has changed. And the Bible doesn't change. Jehovah doesn't change. God doesn't change. Jesus doesn't change. We know that. You can search it in the Bible. There are plenty of scriptures who say to you that Jehovah doesn't change. So why is Jehovah now a God who is favoring some people and some things and letting other people down? Jehovah is about unconditional love. It's a merciful God. It's this, it's that, it's this. He doesn't intervene anymore like the way he did in the old days. He doesn't use me to heal people, or he doesn't use you to then I'm standing in my garden and the bush is on fire and he's talking to me. He's not directly talking to anyone in these days anymore. Put aside if you believe that Jehovah talked to people directly like it's said in the Bible, but I leave it up to you guys. So Jehovah isn't talking to us directly. Also not to the governing body. There's not that they have a meeting at Warwick, the governing body members, and then there's a voice in that room that says, "Wear pants from today. You can have a beard, Stephen lad." No, it doesn't happen. It's about the Holy Spirit and blah, 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 blah. Holy Spirit is a lot of times wrong because nothing the governing body produces instead in prophecies and stuff like that is coming true. So we can always put a question mark at this point. But the weird thing for me now is that Jehovah, and we see a lot of videos online, when it goes well, Jehovah is there for his people. He is blessing his people. But if something goes wrong, then Jehovah they say, not every occasion Jehovah is gonna intervene. Isn't that convenient? So Jehovah is only intervening, and if you do your research now, Jehovah isn't intervening for the brothers in Africa who are in prison for their whole life. Jehovah isn't intervening for the brothers in Russia who are in jail. But Jehovah is intervening for the governing body to build a video studio. Ramapo, Jehovah is blessing the broadcasting. Jehovah is blessing the sale of the buildings in New York before they went to Warwick. Jehovah is blessing us with a new branch office. Jehovah is blessing us with... Jehovah nowadays is only blessing you with the ching, with the money. So from a God who had the best interest in his people, lead them by example, putting people in place who were progressing in the ministry and following the rules and preaching to other nations, and had a focus on the teachings, to bring over the teachings to people who didn't know anything about God and Jesus. That's a noble cause. But today, Jehovah is blessing the governing body with putting out only one awake a year, with one watchtower a year. There's only the study watchtower and videos. Jehovah is blessing the governing body with changing all the magazines, all the literature, every 10, 15 years you have a new version of the Bible, because we have to keep the train running. People need new things. Everyone needs a new iPad because we are updating, and everyone has to have an iPad to follow the latest thing we invented at Watchtower. We're going digital, so everyone has to go digital. Why isn't the governing body providing for free tablets for people in poorer countries? Here, like in Africa, the only continent where Jehovah's Witnesses are still growing. So, the old Jehovah is gone. The new Jehovah is only blessing things connected to money. Jehovah is only appointing governing body members who are helpful and worthy for him because they sell real estate. Jehovah is investing in stocks. Jehovah is investing in bricks, in real estate. So instead of building a religion of faith in God, Jehovah is building literally in bricks, because bricks are money. Jehovah is an estate agent at the moment. Jehovah is an investor. Jehovah is an entrepreneur. Jehovah is opening investment companies in Ireland because it helps him preaching more. Jehovah is investing in good homes, in apartments for the governing body. The top apartments at Warwick are more luxurious than the rest of where the people are sleeping, eating and whatever. Jesus didn't know where he was going to sleep that night. Jesus is born in a simple stable. Jesus was riding into Jerusalem, I believe, on a donkey. Not two horses with a carriage. And he was, hey, look, and with the good and nice clothes. No. The governing body is chilling in a sauna, chilling at a spa on headquarters. They are not working out in the gym. I would be happy if they were working out in the gym, because every video they're making, their neck is getting bigger, their body is getting bigger. So that's not only because of their age, but it's just eat. And they're eating the good stuff. They don't eat the same thing the Bethelites are eating every morning. So Jesus led by example. He was simple. He was merciful. He was empathic. He had compassion for everybody who was there. How often do you see the governing body taking the lead in ministry, in going into a park somewhere and just interact with people? What's going on in their lives? What are their problems? And if there are so many people coming into the park that Stephen Lett says, hey, helper from the committee, go there to the hot dog stand and buy 200 hot dogs. I give everyone something, and a club soda, the Kool-Aid. We drink the Kool-Aid and feed a lot of people. If you want to attract people to your religion, to your faith, I believe you have to lead by example and not delegate. And just being present on a TV screen once a month and tell people what to do. Jesus didn't tell people what to do. Jesus hated the Pharisees because of all those rules they were having. On the Sabbath, on Sunday, he was just eating something out of the field and or you save an animal or whatever. They were going too far with all those little rules to make life miserable of the people. All those small rules of the governing body are making people miserable. They're getting more guilt, they're feeling more anxious, they can't keep up with the pace, they're exhausted, but they keep on running without even being present. So Jesus also took some time off and enjoyed nature and stuff like that. Let people just ease up a little bit and let people decide for themselves what they want to do in that religion. So my conclusion is, the old God had the best interest for his people. I'm not about all those wars in the Old Testament. I didn't like it. I didn't get it, why it had to be done. They were always fighting each other. And now we are kind of neutral in the world. We're not fighting anybody, of course. But the whole system, if you look at why you were a Jehovah's Witness, was a kind of belief. The old Jehovah's Witnesses, they got solid food. I have to admit that, they got solid food. The thing I go on, when I go on, is Revelations book. I remember that red book. It was difficult, but it was solid food. Even if I don't believe it anymore, what's written in there, it was at that time solid food. It gave me satisfaction. I was learning something, and it was not only the answer from, oh, Jesus is king. That simple stuff. It's just now it's just, yeah, it's the teachings now. There you had your stomach full from the Revelation book. You could last long on that. When you were studying it with the book study, you can live a week on it. And with this food, after 1 hour, you need something new. It's like eating rice or stuff like that. After an hour, I'm hungry again. And that's what the governing body is doing now. And you want to do the next thing. So you're gonna watch a video of Caleb and Sophie or whatever. And they keep on feeding you with the bad stuff. It's just like milk. It's not satisfying at all. You don't get full of it. It's too simple. It's not enough. If you see the focus of the governing body, it's not anymore on the magazines, for sure. It's too simple. People are getting bored at meetings. I hear everywhere around the world, because it's written for like a 5-year-old. And then you are there, sitting there, a brother or sister, 50 years, you are JW, and just think, oh, is this it? And the only thing Jehovah now is blessing is all the bricks and mortar. Jehovah is the best broker in the world. He is not, and I think, who's Jehovah and who's Satan at the moment, if you believe that? Because Satan is the ruler of the world. But now Jehovah is replacing Satan, because Jehovah is only interested in real estate, in buildings, in things of this world. He's not interested anymore in the teachings, in exploring things. It's just bland. There's no salt in that food anymore. There's no pepper in that food anymore. It's not spicy anymore. It's just bland. It tastes like nothing. And people are getting bored. More bored than ever. That's why the meetings are not full anymore. That's why people stay at home anymore, because there is no interest in them also anymore. No one is taking care of each other. No one is is helping out each other, because they are too busy with running around like a headless chicken. And for what? So the whole thing that we are in this together is gone. It's just now that the Jehovah is not taking care of people, because people are getting in prison, people are getting mental health issues, and Jehovah doesn't take care of them. But Jehovah is only taking care of selling the next building, selling a kingdom hall, and profiting. Who's profiting? Only the governing body. They fly first class. Was Jesus flying first class in his time? No. He took a donkey to ride into Jerusalem. He wasn't about the money and the fame and all the things. And the governing body wasn't known for me in the 90s. I know a few names, but I didn't know the faces. And that's where they went wrong in 2014, that they become movie stars, that they become famous, that they let them know through the broadcasting and all that thing. And they're only benefiting from this. You and I, we don't benefit at all. So the old Jehovah is gone, the new Jehovah is in place. He's a estate agent, he's a broker, he's an investor, he's an entrepreneur, he's the CEO of just plain old real estate. Guys, that was my take on the new Jehovah, the new religion, the new organization. And I don't blame Jehovah for it, but that's how the governing body is portraying Jehovah to the nowadays Jehovah Witnesses, in my opinion. Let me know what you think of this video. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, and we see each other at the next episode.